Yes, the boys are back. This is Knock 'em Out the Box, episode 150. Before hitting the air,
Wow.
Guillermo asked, is this some sort of milestone episode? And I said, yeah, this Long's on vacation. He's lighting a cigar right now to celebrate. I can't see what kind
I
of
heard him crack a beer.
he cracked a beer. I can't see what kind. Maybe a claw. Could be a claw. He's classy. I can't see it. He could be a claw. He's a
Nah,
class
man.
act. What is it, Brando?
150 and sap. It's in Narragansett. I'm in Narragansett, so I
You
drink
are.
local.
Oh, I saw the
Wow.
picture of it. I saw
Plugging.
the picture. This is Knock 'em Out the Box,
Tall
episode
boys.
150. My name is Vinnie Paz. I'm here with my co-host with the co-most, the Mr. Majestic, left, right, left kid, Mr. Brendan Long. What's the word, Mr. Vacation?
Yo, for 150, I'm channeling my inner Burt Sugar.
Uh-huh.
I'm smoking an aroma de Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
So I just I'm here in Rhode Island. I'm on
Mm-hmm.
location.
He's on
Um,
location.
little location. It's we got a beach rental over here. It's great. I got good Wi-Fi, so
Mm-hmm.
it was a little dicey. I didn't know if I'd be able to tune in. You guys, pardon
Right.
the darkness, but there's people inside partying, so
Right. So you got to behave
I got
yourself
I got
outside.
I got to come outside because everyone else is inside hanging out.
Look at this handsome Guillermo. Look
I
at the
told you I was going to
haircut.
cut off the
He trimmed the mane.
He
trim
slid
the
through the
mane.
lab looking all handsome. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's trying to take the title of the show from Eddie.
Mm.
People have been telling me I look younger now with the haircut.
You don't really have an old look, but I can see what
Yeah.
they mean. But you don't look old anyway. But yeah, you do look like a little like younger. Yeah, 150 episodes. That's crazy. Regardless of the fact that we're joking around about being a milestone, I bet a lot of podcasts don't get to 150.
Not like we do. You know what I'm saying? Like they get
What I mean, the maniacs or something? Like,
no,
what is that about?
no,
What is the implication there?
they get to 150, but we improve every episode. You know what I'm saying? It's
They
150 it starts to
stumble
get
into
stale.
right. We're
Yeah,
getting better, is what you're
we
saying.
get better.
They stumble their way into
Yeah.
150.
Have we not even hit our stride yet?
I don't think we have.
We haven't.
I think we do. I think we have a really good rhythm, but I don't. We still get better.
Yeah, I listen. I got to excuse myself, and I should have said this before we went on air. I have no printer or paper here, guys.
All
So
right,
I'm going off the dome.
I'll lead the way, my brother.
All
You
right.
just enjoy yourself
I'm going off the dome.
and react to
So,
whatever I say.
so Billy, you got to do you got to help me along here. You got to help me along here.
I got you. We got you, brother. We got you. Um, so yeah, as always, we'll start off with some news. Javonta Tank Davis was arrested for battery domestic violence charge early Friday morning. An alleged altercation between Davis and his ex-girlfriend happened a few weeks ago. He was accused of hitting her on the back of the head and slapping her. Tank was wanted by police ever since the incident. With the Lamont Roach rematch, which we mentioned last week, what's going on with this rematch obviously not happening on August 16th. Keith Idek says PBC is looking into scheduling it for August 23rd or August 30th in Las Vegas. I'd just like to say that 1 or 2 weeks is buying you nothing.
No time.
Nothing.
Sorry, buddy.
Let me just follow this up
Yeah.
and then I want you to react because this is a little cherry on that. Not clear if that's realistic at this point. This is Keith Idek, which we just said we don't believe it to be. You and I don't. And then this is last. He was told. This is Keith Idek was told. He's a ring guy. He's a real guy. He's not. He was told that Tank hadn't been training for 3 weeks before he was arrested again early Friday morning. So if this happened a couple weeks ago, right? We're saying 1 or 2 weeks, and then add 3. As of 4 or 5 weeks ago, he wasn't training or in camp. So I don't know what he planned on doing had things not gone south, B. Because the angle will now be, I didn't do shit. They locked me up. That's why this fight didn't. You know what I mean?
Dude, I heard, and I think you and I talked about it. He hasn't even signed the contract yet. So it's the date is booked. The promoter wants him there, but Tank hasn't done his end yet.
Brendan, who did we just talk about personally talking, not on air? And I said, I won't be surprised if we never see him again. And you were like, you're not crazy. Because I'm like getting there with
It was Tank.
It
It was
was
Tank.
it
It
was
was
him.
Tank. Yeah, it was
Because
when I
I'm
sent.
here, I'm like, I'm not all right. I'm not standing 10 toes down on that, right? Like standing on business.
Yeah,
But I'm getting to where, and it's enough where I'm bringing it up on air.
right.
You
Yeah,
know, if in 18 to 24 months we haven't, there's nothing,
right.
I'd be like, and I think it's a mix of as of 4 or 5 weeks ago, he wasn't in a camp for a fight he arguably lost the rematch. You know what I mean? And there's the rematch to said fight.
Right.
Um, he has historically, this isn't based off stories. This is based on where you and I are from and seeing him physically. He balloons up between fights because he doesn't stay active.
Right.
So
And he posts when he's fat, he'll post it
correct,
like
correct,
as a joke, like he's
correct,
slapping his belly and shit.
correct. But as we've said, going back to the beginning of this show, they were just fighters. We weren't talking good or bad about them, just guys that we would just see all the time. They're just
Yeah.
motherfuckers that were around. Danny Garcia was always around. Gabe Rosado was always around. There's the New York crew that you always see. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, yo, if I'm
Yeah.
going to a fight at the Garden or Barclays, I'm going to see X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Same with Philly, same with AC. And AC's in the middle of both of us. So
Sure.
those guys are always there. Broner and Tank would always be together. And like I've always joked, they'd be double fisting and both have nachos with the orange cheese
Yeah.
dip and the
Right.
pretzels with the orange cheese dip and
Right.
then like 2 vodka drinks. So it's like
Right.
these aren't guys that forever fought 4 times a year where
No.
like even if you wanted to be a blimp, you can't,
Right.
So
Yeah.
where do you stand with all of this, B? Like you said, you're riding fucking you're going free balling, no papers in front of you, no
All right.
phone.
So here's
Just break
here's
them down. What's
right.
going on with him? What's going on
With
with
Tank,
State?
this is the crash out. This is
Agreed.
so this is what happens when partly Tank's fault, partly the sport's fault, partly the culture of undefeated, right? That's what I'll call it. I'll call it the culture of undefeated, where this Mayweather effect that you and I talk about
Yep.
has made it so you have to have this flawless record, right?
Yes.
God forbid you lose. God forbid this happens. God forbid you have a bad night.
Yes.
And the fans turn on you, the media
Yes.
turns on you. And I think that the fighters themselves put entirely too much pressure on themselves to carry this where they won't make good fights, they won't make this, they won't do certain things that they need to do. And we get the end result is a guy doesn't look great, has a draw that he probably should have lost, and now he's on a full crash out. Um, and Tank was saying before the first, I, you know, I don't think I think it's been well documented. Tank doesn't have a good base in terms of family, friends, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I also, I'm not excusing his behavior, but what I'm saying is, if you don't have a good base, you you get handed a bunch of cash at 19 or 20. We see it with athletes, actors, musicians, right?
Mm-hmm.
They act out.
Mm-hmm.
They start to age, and really, what it is you've dedicated yourself to this craft, be it baseball, be it music, be it acting, whatever it is, and you've fully immersed yourself in it, and you don't know how to be an adult, and you become an adult, and the world sees you as an adult, but you don't know how to. You didn't have. There's no real formative years for you to
It's Peter Pan syndrome,
Peter Pan syndrome,
and you
right?
can react to it in a variety of ways because immaturity it manifests itself in a variety of ways.
Right. I
He's
mean,
doing
look,
it in the worst ways possible.
right. I mean, look, we see it with I to me, and I know people love it, but I don't dig Oscars clapback Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's childish. I think it's unbecoming of a promoter. And people are like, oh, it's great. It does this, it does that. To me, it's Oscar. Oscar is a strange cat. I don't care what his orientation is.
He
It's,
is.
on 4th of July, did you see his predictions, like where he opened up and he's got his dong hanging out in his
Yeah, yeah.
red,
I
white, and
mean,
blue shorts. It's,
on air, we've talked about the really strange, I guess we can say it. I don't know if it's liable because we do got to be careful because, you know, a strange slash borderline abusive relationship with his father. You
oh,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, I
And
think we could talk about it. I think it's well documented.
yeah,
And I
I
think
mean,
Oscar's another guy. Look, amateurs, Olympics, pros.
Yeah,
There was no
yeah.
childhood there.
No.
The child,
And luckily for him, at least during his prime, there were no crash outs. I know the
right,
pictures came and stuff like that later. He was on the back end. He was
right,
on
of course. But
what's
like
it called
with
of the when you
the
refer to
back
golf?
nine,
The
the
back
back
nine.
nine,
He was
right.
on the back nine. I mean,
So like with Tank, it's an abusive household, right? It's well
yeah,
documented. I believe he was in foster care for a time.
yeah.
You know,
No, it was not fun. No,
a surrogate child of the gym he was in. I
yeah.
bet you if he had a different upbringing, he probably would. Who knows if he would even box? You know what I mean? Who knows? Or in terms of any of these athletes, right?
Well,
Uh,
that's the thing. The thing that leads you there can also lead to the crash out
right.
slash downfall.
And that's of course if you're really good. And then
Right,
and then everyone's got eyes on you. Everyone
right,
holds you to a different standard. They
right.
make excuses for poor behavior. There's no
Yeah,
consequences to actions until you become an adult. Then you become an adult and the state or the county or the feds recognize you as an adult, and that's who you have to answer to. And you're not used to answering to anybody because you call the shots.
right.
So be it A-Rod, in baseball terms, not understanding the severity of a steroid allegation with it. He never really these guys don't apologize. They're just
No,
perennial teenagers,
no.
because they don't become adults. They play fucking games for a living,
Yeah, man. They get paid a
so,
lot of
and they
money
get
to
paid a
play
lot of
them.
fucking money to pay them. And you have a bunch of fucking dick riders.
Who was pointing and yelling? Was it Rafi Palmeiro at the
Oh,
Senate
yeah.
thing? So
Yeah.
as he was lying, pointing
As
his
he was
finger
lying.
at
I
judges.
have never taken,
Yeah, that's wild, bro. It's wild.
it's It's insane to me. It's actually insane to me, and it is. I think to most people, I think it's like classic, or diagnose it. You can diagnose it as pure insanity, where you
Sure.
are denying and lying so much
Yeah,
that you believe your own lies and deny.
absolutely. That's when you get into like sociopathy and stuff,
Right,
where
and
everything you're just lying. It isn't, you don't even refer to them as a good liar because they believe it.
right, and I think in order to, and again, I'm getting deep into my
No,
feelings about
I
this,
know, but it's
where
interesting
especially a
because
guy like Palmero, where you dedicate yourself, you're singularly focused on this one thing.
correct.
Nothing else matters except
Nothing.
hitting baseballs, catching baseballs,
Yeah.
boxing, winning. And at least with,
Training in the off season. When we say they have
right,
off, they're not, no
they're
one's
not
off,
off.
man.
Yeah,
No
those guys
one's
aren't
off.
off. If they want to be great. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at Palmero's numbers, they're insane.
They're insane.
They're insane. So
And bro, for him to be in the 500 club says a lot about what you're saying, how good he is and how much he worked at it. Because he, at no point were you ever like, yo, he's a next level power hitter.
no,
Like there's those dudes you go,
just,
oh shit, this
he's
motherfucker hit
got
that baseball.
400 home runs, three. Rest in peace to Dave Parker. He died a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he did, rest in peace. Yeah.
you know, Again, a guy with 400, but he looked the part of hitting 450 home runs, 15.
Yeah, yeah.
Palmero looked like a regular guy.
Yeah.
Just
So
had
did
that.
Jim Tomey. Like you're like, all right, it's
Well,
a
well,
regular
Tommy
guy.
was big though. Don't forget, Tommy was a huge guy.
Yeah, but there's that Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Canseco type big, and
Yeah.
then there's no
Well,
Puff.
well,
Like
those were steroided
yeah, yeah. I just meant
douchebag.
like there's those dudes in every sport. You got AJ in boxing, you got
Right.
LeBron, where forget whether
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like them or don't, they're specimen.
Oh,
I
LeBron's a
didn't look at
specimen.
Jim Tomey as a specimen. Yeah, he's a big guy. Looks
He
like
was a
a
big, like corn-fed farm boy.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like
yeah.
them corn-fed old lineman type
Yes,
dudes.
that's
Like
what he
that
looks like.
kind of
Yeah.
bit. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But
He just
like,
wasn't an
yeah,
impressive looking athlete, is what
I,
I'm saying.
I, to me, it's strange. Like I was actually just talking to a buddy today, and we'll get into it. He asked me what I thought about the Zepeda Shakur fight, and if
Hmm.
Shakur would stay at 35. And I said, well, I think so.
Hmm.
And we'll get into that. But I said I
We
think so
will.
because he doesn't look like one of these guys that melts.
Right. Not
He's
to me either.
he's got that big boxer head. They all have big heads.
Hmm.
You know,
He looks like a bobblehead.
right? They'll have like real big heads, but
And the
he
Washington Heights Dominican cut doesn't help because
doesn't help.
it goes outward. Ayo.
Yeah, he's got a weird shit
Yeah.
head. But anyway, but what I was saying was, it's some of these guys. You look at them and you see them on TV. They don't seem larger than life. And then I had the opportunity to stand next to and shake hands with Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez
Hmm.
and Jorge Posada. And Rodriguez is a specimen. He's huge. He's got AO. He's got a giant ass, Like his ass is like it's massive. Like it's but
Yeah,
his
yeah.
hands, his wrists are real big. His
He's
forearms
like
are
Kirby
huge.
Puckett.
Yeah, right. But Jeter, what surprised me when I shook his hand, his whole hand wrapped around my hand. Like he's got these big paws, and you're
Yeah,
just like, okay, I get it. You know what I
right.
mean? And it was real. Like his grip was like, I was like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, hey, pleased to meet you. And I was like, holy shit. Posada looks like he could be a fullback. He was that big.
I
His
I
fucking
sat
head
next to
was
Jorge Posada and his either girl or wife. She was
his wife.
beautiful either
She's
way,
gorgeous, right?
gorgeous, at Coto Mosley, and like you said, fullback. But there was still that. Oh, like I don't know. I thought this dude would be like I don't know. We talk about this when we meet fighters. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, bro, I met guys that their aura is monstrous,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you meet them, and like bro, Kovalev like wasn't much bigger than me, and by any calculable measure, he wasn't in
Okay.
fighting shape. So if he was making
Do you think
175, then
like
he was probably walking around at what 200,
yeah,
205.
do you think that Kovalev you thought that because 175 seems so big? Like on the other hand, I met Antonio Tarver and I was like, how the hell does this guy make 175?
I
He's
met Tarver in AC. Funny story.
his he- his head and hands are gigantic.
So because of what I do for a living, I know what it's like to have people ask you to maybe sign something or take a picture in like an uncompromising position. So he was,
Hey yo.
yeah, he was
Hey Ben, bend over and take this.
hey, no Sean
No,
John.
no, no puff.
So we're at Bally's, he's calling the Showtime fights, and we're in the bedroom and I see him. Now that's no place to do anything. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'm done. I'm done taking a leak and I'm washing my paws and I see Antonio and I'm like, yo, Magic Man, we got to get this pick. And he doesn't let me finish it. I'm saying once we go out, in Bally's the little small venue it's in
Yes.
there, it's probably like
Mhm.
1,500. So it's
Yeah.
like outside of that is the lobby, there's Arturo's, the
Yeah.
restaurant. So I'm about to say to him, let's grab this pick when we get out there. But he jumps all. He's like, my ding dong's out. We gotta. I'm like Tarver. I'm saying once we go outside, oh yeah.
That's funny.
So our pick is like both of us yucking it up because we're still laughing from the exchange.
Right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
no, I don't remember thinking that with him either.
When I to me, I was like, wow,
And you're much bigger than me. Again, no puff.
I was like, damn, I just thought to
What are you,
myself,
6 foot?
6 foot. Yeah. Yeah. He's like 6'2", and it's really, again, same thing with Jeter. It's not necessarily the height. It was the other things I noticed, like when you shake someone's hand, their grip, and how big their hands are or wrists or whatever. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this
I'll
guy's
tell you who did that to me, Chuck Zito.
big guy,
It
big
was like a
face,
catch. It was like a
and a
big catcher's
big,
mitt.
and his face is a big face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a big like what Hollywood thing, right? They say like the guy they have like Alec Baldwin is big like that. Like
Yeah.
he's
It's like Burley or something.
yes, and his voice is very deep,
And Chuck's bouffant is like 14 inches.
and Baldwin's hair is very intimidating too. It's like
Chucky Z had on an all white leather outfit with matching all white leather
boots,
cowboy boots, and you're like, "Yo, you're number two of who can pull this off," and the other one's a stand-up edition Eddie Murphy.
right? There's two guys.
Yeah,
He's
two
one of them.
humans that can do this and not have eggs thrown
Sure.
at them. I mean, anyone can do it, but you're pulling it off, and still be like, "Yo, I'm not fucking with that guy."
Yeah.
You know,
He's a big dude.
that was it, Paulie Amir Khan.
Okay. Yeah.
Tuxedo. So I don't be. What are we calling? Are we calling this fight off? Are they going to try to? Does this even get salvaged for 2025?
I wonder if they're gonna pull a rabbit out of that. If you asked me earlier today, I'm saying it's off. Right? So right now I'm gonna go on record and say I think they're gonna pull a rabbit out of the hat
Okay.
and they'll get it going.
I'm not going to say you're crazy. I'm not going to
I
say
don't
you're
think
crazy.
August 16th. Now, of course, while we're recording this, by the time they release, something different can happen.
Of course, it
You know,
probably will. I don't, bro. Was he bailed? Did he make bail? Is he in jail?
I
Did
don't
he?
know. I'm sure he made bail, or they just released him to, on his own
On his own
recognizance.
recognizance. But at some point, when do you start putting someone's bail at a number that's,
Yeah, right.
what is this as far as criminal cases? I'm not talking about
I mean,
like, so don't
he
write
went to
in and
jail.
say,
He's been to jail.
yeah, he did 90 days when he said this thing about the judge, and then he was caught on the phone saying something more wild again. So he was doing house arrest, and then they were like, no, pack
Yeah.
him up. But I'm saying if you were to count everything, what is this, like his fifth serious
You know,
felony charge? I'm not saying
no,
conviction.
I was thinking about this the other day, and it's reminiscent of like the Strawberry Dwight Gooden era in terms of like, oh, you got arrested again.
Oh, he
You know
was
what I
in
mean? Like,
Queensbridge. He was in Queensbridge buying crack today. And you're just
Mhm.
like, well, he's still hitting 50 ding dongs.
Right, but like
And this fucking Gooden's mowing him down. So I guess
right,
we're gonna same thing. We
right.
idolize those dudes.
It's like
We let it
LT, you
fly.
know,
They
it's
become LT was in New
yeah,
York. It's like here with Lenny Dykstra. You know, you had him
right,
in New York and Queens and the island, and we had him
right.
here.
Yeah,
It's like this
it's
guy's a
it's
maniac, but we reward it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Tank is we said it to the build up to this fight, and I believe the fight prior. You said he seems off.
He
He
seems off,
seems
man.
strange. And then we have this acting out behavior. That's a pattern, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. No,
This isn't behavior that is, oh wow, that's unlike that's
no, this
unlike
isn't
him.
an isolated, really good kid like Abdullah Mason doing something.
Right.
And you go,
Like,
where did that come
right. Or
from?
like, or let's give an example of something that did happen. This is when Errol Spence with the driving and the rumors of drinking and all that, we were like,
Hmm.
what?
Yeah, him,
No,
not him.
he seems like a sweet guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Probably might still be, but that was
yeah, of
wild.
course.
It was wild.
But again, we think more along the lines of like Mike Tyson. You know,
Tank is a menace, but
he's
Tank
a
is
menace,
he's a
like
fucking
Tyson.
menace, bro.
Right.
Right, right.
Right.
Like I don't care about convictions. I'm telling you on some human nature shit and people me and you grew up with. I don't just mean grew up with people who are our friends who are now doing time or did
Right.
football numbers. Tank is a menace.
Right. Right. No,
So
he's
don't write in and go, oh, he wasn't convicted. Fair enough. I think he was
okay.
convicted of one thing. I'm telling you, he's a menace that's just been able to finagle his way out of
Right.
these things.
He has money
Yeah,
and he has fame and he probably has some level of political connection because Baltimore's such a downtrodden city that they're like, look,
sure,
maybe we can
sure,
throw this kid a bone.
sure.
And
And
because of what we talked about, his history, there are judges, there are prosecutors, there are people that do have some level of compassion for people like him,
yeah, yeah, and you need
you
that
know,
in the system. You know what I
right.
mean?
But
But sometimes
fuck,
enough is enough.
enough is enough. I mean, I mean, and it's hands on women,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. A lot of the people we talked about, it's wild as shit, B. But like people that you're like, oh, that guy did coke and hookers, and we laugh. You're like, some of them are kind of mostly victimless crimes. Like I don't care if you're buying crack in Queensbridge, as long as you hit me 50 home runs.
right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
I think that yeah, I mean
Tank's a
LT
menace.
right. Like I believe LT was a menace too. I think
Yeah, no,
he
I
was
think
having sex with like underage strip
yeah, yeah.
hookers or
No,
whatever.
no, no, no. He was a
Yeah.
menace
He's
too. Yeah,
not a
yeah.
good guy. Yeah.
No,
Lenny
by
Dykstra,
any,
menace.
yeah,
Get him off the
menace.
street.
The Lenny Dykstra book is just a horror movie,
Right.
bro. A horror movie.
And
So the first half of this next news bit isn't breaking. The second literally hit right before we got on air.
oh,
And seeing as you're on vacation, I bet you didn't hear the second half. So you told me as this happened, and I said, how the fuck did I miss that? And you're like, it just broke. So since last episode, Francisco Rodriguez Jr. tested positive for a banned substance in a post-fight VADA test following his victory over Galal Yafai. If you remember, B,
tisk.
we spoke about this guy's engine was crazy in the second half of that fight.
We certainly did.
We said it on the air. Now, right before we hit the air tonight, this guy's got a set of brass balls on him. Eddie Reynoso says he will no longer train or associate with fighters if he can't oversee their nutrition and supplements. Jaime Munguia and Francisco Rodriguez failed drug tests earlier this year. Munguia trained with Reynoso while Rodriguez was sponsored by him. Okay, here we go. Starting now, I'll be working 100% with a team that I can supervise. I've let the boxers who have come to me to train have their own nutrition team, their own work team, quite independently of what the training entails. So what am I going to do from now on? Work 100% with the team that I can supervise and manage, not because the other boxers have had a bad team, so that I have 100% control of the boxers I'm going to be training. Oscar Valdez is an impeccable young man. He's a very disciplined young man, like few I've seen in boxing. This problem arose. It was resolved, and the fighter defended his title. Jaime Munguia is also a very disciplined fighter who has been having a great career, and this small detail comes up. Now, what I'm going to do is get advice and get a good nutrition team that is more attached to VADA, and that is closer to the people who manage VADA to try to do things better. This, to me, is
Damage
control written by a very good publicist.
Sure.
To try to take any and all.
Well, I think it's a two-sided thing here. I think, yes, there is truth to what he's saying. I don't if a guy brings in a strength, I'm here to give the guy tactics and have him make weight, right? He wants me to work on technique, tactics, or maybe not even making weight, right? Like, we're going to go back to Memo Heredia and Trevor Ariza.
Yeah.
Wasn't the whole beef with like Trevor Ariza and Freddie due to the fact that like Ariza came in and it wasn't Freddie's like blessing, right? And they couldn't get along.
Yeah, I mean, so they say, yeah.
So what I'm saying is guys have their own nutritionists, right? Oh, this is my this guy, this is my that guy. Now, if these guys are in the gym going, hey man, or the nutritionist, air quotes, right, is hanging around the gym, right?
Yeah.
So to me, I think this is a byproduct of, we talked about it years ago on this show. You have the trainer du jours, right? Let's look at Derek James as recently as 2 years.
Absolutely.
Everybody had to have Derek James as their trainer, right? Spence loses. Derek James now training Alicia Baumgartner. Like, that's the most famous person he's got, right? Guys get hot, then they're not. Freddie, HBO is doing fucking profiles on Freddie Roach.
Yeah, I mean, Buddy has been hot and not what, 4 times since
4 times, right?
Yeah,
right. And now it's like we see guys from all over the country training with Bomac. There's no way you can keep track. Well, you and I talk about this. We say like the trainers work so long not making any money that when they get hot, it's like hitting the lotto and they can't turn it down. It's like in your business, right? You have a rapper. He shall remain nameless, but I did go to high school with him, who gets hot around 35. Then all of a sudden he starts popping up as a feature on everybody's shit.
Yeah.
And then you start hearing the same verse on two fucking records.
Right.
And you're like, hey, what do you
feel like you can't say no, so you start spreading yourself thin. To me, it would be how I could equate it is the touring opportunities and the money that they throw out at you.
Right.
Go. It's not hard to turn down small money for a shitty show. It gets more difficult when I said I'm retired that they still keep coming through with outlandish money and saying no to it. So what do you do? You know what I mean?
What do you do? Right.
And I think in my case, it's easier because it fucks with my mental health. With these guys, it's like, no, I'll just put more on my plate. I can handle it. There's a little more room for a little more on my plate.
I think the way to do it, is sort of like what Freddie did and like what Robert Garcia has done.
Yeah, running a gym with guys there that you trust like you trust yourself.
And then it's almost like a law firm, right? So
Freddie, you're allocating some work.
Right. You scale everything. So Freddie will bring the guy in, he'll assess, and then
Marvin might take the
correct.
Yeah.
What's the other kid's name? Oh shit.
Yeah, he's good.
Young guy.
Yep.
Really another Asian guy.
I
Julian
know it's yeah, we both like him.
Chua is his last
yeah,
name?
yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
So,
That's it. That
or
kid's good.
he's good, right? So he works directly with Freddie, and then they get fighters. Either he brings them in, or Freddie, like you said, allocate. And it's similar to how a law firm will work. The guy on
Hmm.
the guy on the masthead is the hook, and then he says, "Look, I'm going to set you up with my associate."
Look,
You know what I
guys,
mean?
guys, when you hear Morgan and Morgan, if you think you're going in there getting Morgan, I got a fucking bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. There's 30
Right.
people in that building. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
bro, there's thousands. They have
Yeah,
thousands of attorneys. Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, it's
Hey,
it's
I'm
akin
gonna
to
throw
that.
something back at you.
Sure.
I don't have any problems with anything you're saying.
Okay.
We just gave examples of it to anyone who
Hmm.
would want to argue with us,
Yeah, Julian
right?
Shakur.
He's good.
Yeah, really good.
Devil's advocate, because you and I really do see the sport the same way. Um, Devil's advocate would be okay, all that's fair enough. What's this?
Mm.
The seventh guy?
Oh, so here's what I was gonna get at. His statement is fair and good if it was two guys.
Yeah.
The
I think
fact
at the
that it's this
second
many
guy, you
guys,
cut this promo. One, you don't say anything.
right,
Two, you cut this promo. On the
right,
seventh, I'm like finding the fastest flight to fucking Timbuktu.
right. To me, on the seventh, you take a break from the sport for a year. You reassess, you reevaluate, you fire your staff if there is a staff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You start to figure out what's what after two, bro. At seven,
Let's say,
hang on real quick though. The weird thing is it's different drugs they're popping hot for every time.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
is it like they figure out how to
What is
mix
more
them?
suspicious to you? 6 or 7 guys getting popped for the same thing, or 6 or 7 guys and it's a different drug? Or is it just equal to you? It just doesn't matter. It's
The same thing would be, all right, it's definitely the trainer. You know what I mean?
right,
So,
regardless of the
okay, so
drug. I'm saying
here's what I'm gonna say. This is not a defense.
okay.
In terms of the Reynosos,
I got one for you on a comeback. Go ahead.
to me, this is blind eye stuff. I don't care what you
I
do
got you.
outside of here.
I got you. I got you. I got
We're in
you.
here to do X, Y. Now let me ask you something. You're an expert in whatever you do, whatever field you're in.
Okay.
If this guy, the most recent guy,
Okay.
uh,
Francisco Rodriguez. Yeah, yeah.
he
Right on the
comes
tails of Munguia.
he comes in
Yeah.
camp and he's blasting everybody out of your fucking gym,
Yeah.
right? And he's going in as an opponent.
And he's old. And he's fought everyone and got
He's
packed up by
right,
them 13 years ago.
right.
So
So
a guy's that lost to Chocolatito in
so
2012 is
that
mowing down my old
that
gym.
doesn't raise your eyebrows.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Or
saying.
here's it even. So I gave a good take, right, of what it
Yeah.
might be. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a devious take.
Okay.
Now
You
did
like the
now
diabolical one better.
now did you see him start mowing people down? You're so competitive and you have this edge to win and be the greatest trainer, right? Just like someone would have, the greatest that you go, you know what? I don't care what he's on.
Don't ask, don't tell. I want to go over there and look like the
Right,
fucking genius that people are
right,
calling me. I
correct.
took over after my father. Now it's me.
Hmm.
He's not even around anymore.
Right,
So now it's all me
right.
and Team Canelo.
And I really and Canelo's getting old and he's
Yep.
gonna retire and
Yep.
the faucet's gonna cut off.
Yep. And
And
I need that next wave of guys.
right.
And,
And I really like these Louis Vuitton pajamas I have
yep.
that I
I
wear
like these
around.
4 cars. I don't want it to become one.
Right,
I like the crib in San Diego along
right.
with my crib in
Wherever. Yeah,
yeah, wherever they're at in
yeah.
Mexico. Um, so I don't know what they're gonna do, B, because we talk about national commissions, we talk about this, that, and the third. We don't know, we don't know what Munguia when we brought that up, all we discussed what might happen. I still don't think they've put the gavel down on Munguia. Have they? Meaning officially, like I said, we heard maybe 6 months to a
Yeah,
year, maybe this, maybe that. Like, I didn't hear any ruling yet on him.
nothing I've heard.
So did they even turn that into an ND? B?
I'm gonna look
Has
right.
that even been? All right, cool. So
Yeah.
so let's try to figure out 2 things real quick. If
Nope.
that got
It's
changed
it's
yet,
still a win
it's
in
still a
terms of
Jaime Munguia win after he
yeah.
popped hot,
Hmm.
and we still don't know, uh, you know, what type of suspension, if any, was handed down?
As of June 17th, as per the ring, he faces discipline. He hasn't gone to so less than a month ago. At the time of this recording, it's still less than a month. He
Yeah.
faces discipline. So I guess they're waiting for, whatever comes down on him.
Yeah.
So we'll hear about the suspension probably soon, shortly.
So same question mark over Francisco Rodriguez. Yo, that's you pop hot. That's got to be a no decision,
Right.
and you could kill somebody, which we've said a million
Right.
times. Here's another one since you've been on vacay that you knew half. And again, before air, this comes up. So this is good. Anthony Cacace suffered a back injury and has been forced to withdraw from the fight with Ray Ford on August 16th in Riyadh. Former title challenger Abraham Nova is stepping in, according to Mike Coppinger. So you had mentioned, all right, at least we got a little time for a good guy. I like Abraham Nova.
Yep.
I like the gimmick. What's the mascot that
The
looks
mascot.
just like him?
Supernova.
Yeah, he can fight a little bit.
Yeah.
He can give Ray Ford a little bit of trouble. So where do you stand with that replacement?
It's all right. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's fine with
Serviceable.
me.
Yeah.
Serviceable is a good way to put it. Naoya Inoue will defend his ring and undisputed super bantamweight world titles against Muradjan Akhmadaliev on September 14th in Nagoya, Japan. Correct. And then the December date's still locked up too.
Oh, by the way, real quick, just to circle back to 2 episodes ago.
Yes, sir.
I did some digging.
Yeah.
And I should have said this at the top of the show. I apologize.
No.
Callum Smith didn't like the split for David Benavidez.
Yeah.
And it was I from what I understand, the money was pretty paltry. Like you said, to go and get the shit kicked out of you, possibly, or fly across the world.
We also got, not only did you said you should have brought that up earlier, and on the heels of that, I would have brought up that our good friend and brother, our Saudi Connect, scolded us and said there's plenty to do in Riyadh. How dare you?
Okay.
There's just no casinos and drinking. And I go, yeah, you don't know anything about Americans.
Right.
And he rattled off all these things that no maniacs we know in boxing want to do. What was the other thing he said? He also said
there's no women, there's no gambling, and there's no drink. So there's no vices. Okay.
He
thanks.
also said we're bugging and that all camps are paid for them to come early. And I told him, you're out of your fucking mind. And we're not talking about the Buds and Canelos of the world. This is me talking to him, not you.
Yeah.
I'm saying, of course, if Bud wants to go a month earlier, we're talking about Callum. We're talking about Callum.
Yeah. Right. We're talking
about
those...
him $100K and he's got to go in late and 50 get that.
I don't. Yeah.
Guys, we don't know what the offer was.
I don't know what the offer was.
No.
I heard that he didn't balk at the offer, but what he did, it wasn't what he wanted.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you do in his situation.
Or what he felt he was worth.
Are you taking that fight because you believe you can beat David Benavidez and become champion? Then I take the lowball offer. If you're like, I need a bag, I'm on the tail end of my career. I'm from a fighting family. I've been in tough fights. I fought everyone around my weight class.
Well, the other thing is too, I believe he's the interim champ right now.
Correct.
So no matter what, he's going to have title fights lined up for him. So
no, I feel you, B, but do you feel me? No.
Yeah. I'm saying
my brain tells me, I could fuck him up. Now, I'm not saying he can. I'm saying if you believe it, I'm going there and doing it, knowing that the bags are coming.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think that from our standpoint as non-fighters, right, who don't get a glimpse at these contracts, right, and don't get a glimpse at the split, and we don't have the
knowledge. Big fan of you smoking the cigar. Big fan of you smoking.
Thank you. And don't have the background of the actual like the actual phone call, the actual Zoom.
Yeah, of course.
For us as commentators, like most commentators, right? We don't know and there's so many moving parts that you, me, our friends, people in the media will get wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you talk to the actual fighter, he goes, no, 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 no. And I'm not saying I'm using this as a hypothetical. I'm not going
Sure.
what happened here. They go,
Yeah.
what they wanted me to do was take this fight for X amount of dollars. If I won
Right.
going
They're
forward,
promising me X,
then I
Y, and
get this.
Z.
But I had to fight 3 fights in the course of a year and a half. It
Yeah.
wasn't a 3 fight deal. It was a year and a half deal. And if I didn't make those 3 fights, then the deal gets reworked again, and I have to stick with this guy for 5 years. And I'm giving just a poor explanation, I guess,
No,
of
understood.
how some of the domino effect of these tricky contracts with promoters. And this has nothing to our friend. This has nothing to do with Riyadh. This has nothing to do with anybody. This has to do with just fight contracts are not in favor of the fighter. So you and I, or the public, or whoever, because it gets reported, how could such and such turn down a deal? Now I'll eat crow on that Brian Norman thing, right? So now Brian Norman turns down Boots, right? We all killed him for it. I killed
Killed
him
him.
for it. Now Brian Norman has a chance to be undisputed in the division and rule over that division, and he's still getting a big fight. And he has the knockout of the year. Now he's on everyone's radar. Everyone knows who he is due to that knockout.
He bet on himself to do that.
Right.
I don't know that I'm eating crow. I'm more saying good for him on betting on himself, but there's no denying that he turned down a career high payday.
Correct.
And I mean, the
I
number
mean,
I heard was outlandish.
I heard it was
Right.
$1.9 million,
I heard they got it to 2.5.
and he had to pay 750.
I heard they
The
got
top
it to,
rank.
I heard they negotiated it up to 2.5 with the 750 still in that, which would have been around 1.8, paid to him after.
Right. But now, by taking his time, he'll be set to likely make way more than that.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. It depends. It can still blow up. Do I think it will? I don't know that he'll get $2.5 million to fight Devin Haney.
No, but I think what he'll do is work his way up with opponents to that top rank.
Now, if and when he flatlines Haney, then everything you're saying all starts falling into place.
Absolutely. So again, betting on himself, and he's got to hit. He's got to show out against Haney.
And the post-fight show that we do after that fight, if Haney's still snoring, then the eating crow part comes in for me.
But what I'm getting at is more the moving parts of things and how a fighter,
I understand, and you're not wrong.
Who is their own business has to think what's good for and this is what's kind of crummy about this, right? But I have to think this is what's good for my fighting business and my future. I've said it on the show. I'll say it again. I don't necessarily think fighters are scared of another fighter. Like I'm not physically. I'm a fighter.
Yeah,
not me. I'm a fighter. I could whoop everybody's ass. You know what I mean? Like
of course.
I ain't afraid of that, dude. What I'm afraid of is being a broke fighter.
That he ducked this person, he ducked that person, a lot of that stuff. It isn't that it's totally off base. It's why. Did Floyd think he was going to get sparked clean out and concussed by a prime Pacquiao? No, but he thought this guy might beat me, and even if it's a decision, this
right, and I
mythicals that I have,
and I can build this and get money while I'm building this to get this to. I also think Floyd probably didn't think Juan Manuel Marquez was going to knock him out before they fought.
No, of course not.
Floyd must have been like, oh,
of course.
But anyway. Moving on. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. So anyway, in Akhmadaliev, September 14th. That's not that far away at all.
No, man.
A couple months. This is what a piece of news that is just not helping us get any closer to where we want to be in an already barren division. The WBO is planning to order their number one and number two contenders at middleweight, Denzel Bentley and Andriy Saavedra, to meet in a final eliminator for Janibek Alimkhanalah's middleweight title. So the winner of Bentley Saavedra is who Alimkhanalah is going to fight. I mean, this is brutal, man. Him not fighting Adames and just unifying that division.
Poor Adames
is brutal.
And especially after we'll get into it, and everyone knows I'm not spoiling anything, but after how the last guy Adames,
Hamzah,
I think most of us had Adames either in a draw or winning, right?
Thought it was a draw.
How great he looked. This is what he's getting. He's not getting a reward, you know? And
I mean, who are they going to put him in there with now?
I mean, Erislandy Lara just has the
Can he
belt.
just vacate that, man? Can someone apply pressure to him?
And they,
What does he have? The WBA?
mhm.
He's got to fight, bro. He's got to defend that against a real guy, man. And there's there's three real guys in the division, and
Bro,
by that,
he fought Danny in September, Garcia. That was his defense. It's Spike O'Sullivan, Michael Zarafa,
and he has
Danny
nothing on the
Garcia.
ledger, which means when and if he gets back in there, it'll be a year after fighting and beating the dog shit out of a blown up shot Danny Garcia.
I
He
mean,
should have
look,
come right back after that.
you're going to throw up. Going back to pre-COVID, it's Ramon Alvarez, Greg Vendetti, Thomas Lamana, Gary O'Sullivan, Michael Zarafa, and Danny Garcia.
Yeah, that's a fucking sin.
Come on. The fuck
Bro,
are we doing
look,
here?
we talk about guys who hang around. Some guys hang around too long. Some guys we just say, if they hang around and don't fight, they just want to fight because they love fighting. Like a guy like who fought everyone at Chop Chop, like Chop Chop Corley. The guy just
DeMarcus
loves it.
Corley. Right.
You know, he'll go to Turkey and fight someone. He'll go to
Right.
If you love doing that, Chop Chop's not holding titles hostage. He's just doing his thing. It's like, bro, fight Cornflake if you want. Run that
Right.
belt, man. Run that belt, make it vacant, and then you can make Janabek and
But
Adames for
to
all the
me-
marbles.
But even like, why can't we just make Carlos Adames, Erislandy Lara? It's a
I don't know.
unifier.
You tell me.
Make the fight.
What?
Make
Tell
the
me.
fucking fight. I don't get it.
This
Anyway.
Alam Hanallah seems willing to fight anyone as far as I'm concerned, but I don't know.
But they're just not giving him, I don't know, the opponent.
This
Anyway.
Turki Al Sheikh is saying Canelo will face either Hamzah Shiraz or Chris Eubank Jr. after the September 13th fight with Bud. Look, you know my opinion on that. I think that Bud beats Canelo easily. Either way, I don't see him. I could see him fighting Chris Eubank Jr. Win, lose, or draw to Bud.
Yeah.
I don't think he goes anywhere near Hamzah Shiraz.
Not after this weekend. Not after this weekend. Nope. Not after what he did to a common opponent. And I know that the triangle theory doesn't hold up. But Shiraz is a nightmare.
Stylistically, everything. He's a nightmare for everyone.
Yeah.
It has been confirmed that Jack Catterall will fight on a Riyadh season show in the near future. So good for him.
Good for Jack.
This is in here more because you and I were fucking saying, "Whoa, pack this guy up," and now this is an actual pack up. This is an act of everyone we've ever said, pack him up. This stands the best. Ricky Hatton has confirmed that his son Campbell has retired from boxing at age 24 following back-to-back defeats to James Flint in 2024. Pack him up.
Goodbye.
We said goodbye. I never want to see this kid again, and it happened.
Okay. And Ricky Hatton's coming back.
And Ricky Hatton's coming back. He's bigger than me and you put together.
Is he fighting the guys who beat his kid?
Right. He should. That should be. He should try to get his lick back. Okay. Mike Coppin just says they're hoping to deliver two big fights on the Canelo Crawford on the card. Christian and Billy Lester Martinez and the battle of the big babies with Jarrell Miller, Jared Anderson.
Good.
I don't know who Brandon's going to be rooting for in the big baby battle.
Double KO.
Who he wants out of there. He wants a Rocky double KO, I think.
Look, one guy's a habitual drug cheat.
Yeah.
Loudmouth dickhead. The other guy has some speeding offenses. The one guy beat up a rental car guy. The other guy, I feel like I'm picking on a special needs kid. I'm gonna go with the non-New York big baby, the Ohio big baby.
That's who you're rooting for, or
that's what I'm gonna root for.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm rooting for.
Got
in
you.
this battle of who I don't care to see.
Got you. This
And
is
again,
great
I'm
news.
a known heavyweight hater, so
Yeah.
so
Actually, I am too, except
uh,
our obsession with Usyk, but other
yeah,
than him.
and that's more because of his dancing skills.
This is great for me, emotional for me in a good way. Riyadh Season and Ring Magazine have made a big offer to Jim Lampley and are close to a deal for him to be the official voice of both entities. I couldn't be happier with that.
Good.
Um, with
By the way,
Matt,
he gets big bags.
yeah, he don't have to leave the crib. So wrapping up news, guys, to talk about something that I was going to talk to Brendan about over the weekend, but again, like I said, he's on vacation. So we're going to talk about this fight. I do not want to get into the fight now. I just want to talk about this. But Imam Katiev had been handed a 2-year ban by the International Testing Agency after testing positive for banned substance clomiphene in an out of competition drugs test on October 9th, 2024. The
Recently, so
the
relatively
ITA are the testing agency used by the IBA. So
recent.
it's likely that the Russian will be the only that'll he'll only be banned by IBA governed events. I don't know how that makes any sense. Shout out to Rennie Starkweather for hitting me up and bringing this to
Is
my
so,
attention because what I had heard confused me. And
so is the IBA is like not affiliated with like the International Boxing Committee, which is the IBC, which oversees the Olympics, correct? This
correct,
is the other one.
yeah,
So now what does this drug do? What what are the benefits of this drug?
I don't know.
I heard this today, guys. I was admittedly catching up on the fights today. On and shout outs to DAZN for the full replays very shortly after the pay-per-views. So I was watching today and they said this during the broadcast, and I believe it was Sergio Mora saying, New York is one of the strictest testing agencies. How did this slip by or not slip by, or what's the story? They didn't know the type of drug during the broadcast. You're saying it's called, how do
I'm
you say?
looking it up.
Okay.
Clomiphene, often recognized by the brand names Clomid or Seraphine, is a medication primarily used to help women who have difficulty conceiving due to ovulation issues. It did say something about men.
So is it like a masking agent for other drugs, possibly?
It's used in men to address low test levels,
Oh, so it's a testosterone
and
boost.
in some cases to improve sperm parameters for men experiencing infertility. I mean, he could have just actually been using it to have a kid, and that's a banned substance,
Could be.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
defending it,
Oh, no, no. I'm saying could be.
I don't, um, it blocks estrogen. It's a selective estrogen receptor modulator. It blocks estrogen in the pituitary gland.
Hey, any of our chemists out there, or biologists that listen to
It
the show?
produced more tests, so that's what,
Yeah.
if you
Can you guys write into keotbboxing@gmail.com and give us your takes? We'll read it on air. And because I am always fascinated by these guys that know why one in fitness would take this drug, that drug, or the other drug. I remember I think it was something that, one of the women took and claimed for their period or whatever, and like, nah, known masking agent. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
all athletes take that as a masking agent.
right,
Um, and not for our show. I just remember reading it on Twitter. Like, they come out and they go, "All right, here are the examples of other athletes. You know, this cyclist did this football player did that. And
yeah,
it's all to mask the drug. I don't know if that's what this is, but as you're saying, this sounds like a testosterone boost, which of course would help you.
yeah.
Um, in
I know a
box.
thing or two about sperm parameters.
Go ahead,
Wow.
shoot your shot, so to speak.
I was kidding.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh,
Mhm.
you got me all hotsy totsy, no puff. Uh,
Saturday, the zone pay-per-view, Louis Armstrong Stadium, Queens, New York. Speaking of the devil, and he appears. David Morrell, 11-1, 9 KOs versus Imam Katayev, 10-0, 9 KOs, light heavyweights. Look, I said this Katayev was a goon. I said not to sleep on him. I said mad respect for David Morrell fighting Benavidez and then getting back in with a goon.
You said all these things.
People absolutely were. Billy gave us the line. I think he was a 6-1 dog. I said, that's crazy. Look, there's nothing subtle about Katayev. He's looking to get you out of there. Big, thudding shots. He was hurting Morrell. Just what be those guys that when they hit you, they just
he's
seem
scary.
rocked off everything. You know what I mean? You know what?
Yeah.
Everything that lands, your guy seems.
And I'll say this, man. He's got a really quick 1-2. I don't care what
jab.
Yeah, what people were saying he was sort of they were saying he kind of looked lumbering and slow. That 1-2 was getting in there because it was quick.
Yep, his hands are fast. He doesn't. He's not fast, but it's
I tell you right now, that's a guy you don't want to meet in the street.
No,
that guy will rip off a three or four punch combination on you.
You're fucking cooked.
Good night.
David Morrell would smile, crack Katayev with a left hand. For a while there was the classic boxer puncher matchup, except Morrell can crack, and Katayev moves his head well and sets things up.
He really does.
It was good stuff. I had Katayev up after 4, but he looked cooked in between the 4th and 5th, and I go, oh, that's why he's one of these
I thought
guys.
the same thing. Yep.
Then heavy shots from both guys. Huge right hand from Katayev, drops Morrell and had him hurt badly.
That was at the end of the 5th.
If it wasn't for the bell B, I don't think he would have survived.
Bro, he walked. He there was time left, so the sticks went. He gets knocked down. He turns around, throws his hands on the ropes. The ref says, "David, you got to keep fighting."
Yep.
Walked back towards the center of the ring. Bell rang. Yes, I concur. He looked like he was ready to give it up right there.
Yep. Brutal 9th round. When Morrell would do good work and land some big shots, Katayev would eat the shots and fire back. So good, fun fight, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I had it 97-92, Imam Katayev. Judges had it 95-94, Katayev, 96-93, 95-94 for David Morrell. Awful cards, in my opinion. John McKay, 96-93 for David Morrell is criminal. Pack him up. I can't not say this. I'm only doing it for our show. I would like to hide it. Some people that you and I both respect thought Morrell nicked it. And I'm kind of getting tired of anyone in the sport that this kind of a little bit, not fully, a little bit goes into our athleticism folder where we talk about these guys that think because it's visually prettier to watch David Morrell do what he does than it is to watch Imam Katayev do what he does, which is just hit you with big, hard shots that hurt you. I don't know how you just give rounds because it's prettier and he was.
I have a lot to say about the co-main event in that regard because of what I read. But go ahead, because I have some things to say about.
I just wanted to say that and let you volley back because
I
don't know how you get. I don't know.
I'm watching a fight. I'm watching a guy damage another guy more, land harder, telling shots, walking through the other man's shots. If you're outlanding, controlling the pace, you have one guy on the back foot the entire time. He doesn't really seem to be establishing himself, and the other guy coming forward, and not just coming forward and coming up with air. He's catching meat, no puff every time. You know what I mean? He knocked the guy down. So where did that 10-8 round go? So you're telling me you found that many points to give David Morrell in a 10-round fight?
Fucking somehow go. This is a 10-round fight. I had it pretty even. Then you have Katayev winning.
You have to have Katayev winning. Right.
I mean, I think if your last name is Morrell, you go 5-5 and our guy still lost because of the knockdown.
Because of the knockdown.
And that's if your last name is Morrell. Or your
I think I didn't score these fights because I'm watching them and then pausing it.
You're catching up. Yeah.
and I had some other work from my business to do today, and running around with the kids and taking a break.
Of course.
I had it
While
se-
trying to also enjoy yourself.
right. I had it 7-3 Katayev.
It's the same score as mine. And then you have
Right.
a point deducted for the
Correct.
knockdown. So
So
it's a 97, 94,
I'm
93 fight.
confused. I thought Morrell looked like he was trying. And I think it appeared the way he came out after the first 3 rounds, he appeared to underestimate his opponent. And exactly what you said, he said, all right, I'm going to take this guy past the 5th and then I'll cruise a little bit.
I'm gonna drown him then because this guy is muscular. He's built
Right.
like a fucking brick shit house.
Right.
He throws
Mhm.
bombs. Those two things equal you're gassed by 5 or
And
6. We
he
both
wasn't,
saw in between the 4 and 5, B, we both said it. So
but,
what were we
but
seeing and what did this maniac have in him? No pub.
but with this other news now, what you say isn't that particular testosterone boost, doesn't it give you exactly just that? A boost?
I mean, when he got
We
pinched, it was a year ago. So is he still crazy
so
enough to be on it?
according to the broadcast, they had another opponent ready in case the New York State Athletic Commission
Correct.
didn't approve this guy.
Correct. And we both know
To
that
me,
that
this just I hate
it stinks.
it stinks. So now we have
I don't care. This
this
Katayev is good.
Kataev is good and he won. In my
Yes.
opinion, he won this fight.
Unless he pops hot now. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
lot of
So
testing for this
we
fight,
can only
we could
go based,
speculate.
but we can only go based on what we're given.
What
And
happened?
what we're given and what happened was a guy who beat David Morrell,
The
in
New
my
York
opinion.
State Athletic Commission said we are okay with this fight
So
happening.
we
David
have to go.
Morrell said we are okay with this fight
So we have
happening.
to we have to try to remove that
Remove all of it. This guy
that
won
right, that seed
7-3
of doubt.
with a knockdown. This Katayev is no fucking joke. David Morrell is still very good.
Absolutely.
And now, for a long time, B, we said this is a two-man division, meaning better be Evan Bevo.
Yeah.
Then Morrell and Benavidez went up, and we're like, it's like 1A, 1B type guys.
Yeah.
Katayev's right in there now, bro. This is basically with Beterbiev being at the end. If they
Yeah.
make the trilogy happen, he's not going to hang around much longer than after that. You
No.
know what I mean? So
I personally think he retires after that.
yeah, so it's like Akatayev's not young or anything, but Katayev mixed. I imagine David Benavidez, Imam Katayev, or at least the one that fought Morrell this weekend.
Mhm.
That's who he really is, because that's who I thought he was from what I've seen. You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, these findings are weird, and we don't play that shit here. But a respected, strict commission let this happen. I have nothing to go on after that. These other people that popped hot that we talked about, look,
Whatever.
I don't know. Alberto Puello, 24-0, 10 KOs versus our guy Subriel Matias, 22-2, 22 knockouts, WBC 140-pound title. First thing I noticed early, B, Matias just walking straight in, no jab, no feints, no
nothing.
nothing.
Well, that's
Not
what he
that I thought
does.
he was going to become Manuel Marquez all of a sudden,
Right.
but I thought
A
something's
little
going to be worked
nuance.
on.
Right.
Some nuance. Puello was boxing well, but Matias was ripping those shots downstairs. I said out loud, you can start getting some weirdo talking to yourself shit. Are these judges going to give credit for those body shots? And I said, I don't think they're going to. Close, tough fight, some tough rounds to score in there. I want to hear your take. Puello started fighting on the inside, which isn't the best idea.
No, not
but
with
he's
that
a
guy.
goon. But he's a goon. Close rounds. I had it 114, 114. Judges had it 114, 114, 115, 113, twice for your new WBC
I'm hearing
140-pound champion,
I,
Subriel.
I'm hearing screams of robbery here from
The
people,
screams
friends.
of robbery, right, should be reverted to the fight we just covered.
So I'm going to say something.
Can I say this real quick? And then I'm going to shut the fuck up and let David Morrell, Imam Katayev is fucking 5 times the robbery that this was.
It's filthy.
And you don't know shit if you think otherwise.
Okay, so
if you have a fight, even, and someone nicked it out by a round, either way,
It's not a robbery.
No. Now I'm shutting up for you. Please talk to me.
I
buddy.
think what we're getting sometimes. This is from my pundit friends. These are friends of mine. These are good friends of mine. These are people I see socially, I hang out with, I talk to on the phone. They'll make a prediction ahead of time, and their prediction doesn't come to fruition, right? And then they scream robbery. This couldn't have happened. That's fucking bullshit. Whatever, whatever, whatever. And I don't always do this. I try to be as objective as possible. I think I'm an objective person in life. I have opinions, but I try to always say, well, this is this person's.
I think you're very objective. I think you have a great personality trait, not in boxing,
Thank
in
you.
life, of listening to everything, do your best, unless someone thinks something very offensive. What I mean by that is like politically or something that like shits on what you believe in.
Right,
Outside of that, you'll let a lot of shit slide. And I don't even mean you won't let politics slide.
Right.
You'll let that shit slide. Just don't keep saying it to me, man, or I'm gonna smack you. But
I-
otherwise, we're good.
You've seen me say that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. But just
So where I'm at with this is, I don't think this was a robbery. I think you could have scored it for Puello. I think you could have scored it for. I'm looking at the last championship rounds. Both guys exhausted. Both guys trying. This is beautiful. This is two men laying it on the line. I had it as you did. Again, guys, maybe I got to revisit it. Maybe I'll revisit it.
Maybe I will too.
I had it a draw.
That's what I had it.
I don't think. What were the cards, Vin? What were the scores?
So someone had it a draw.
Uh-huh.
And two cards of 115, 113 for Subriel Matias.
Okay. To me, run it back. It was beautiful boxing. Give
Great
Puello
fight, two
a
good
rematch.
fighters.
Dominican,
styles.
Puerto Rican.
Yep.
Love it. All Caribbean showdown.
We talk about hating old adages on this show. I'll throw one out there since we always what's the one we really hate? He's downloading information. Guys, styles do make fights. These styles mix well because
this was two wild boys.
Yes, and just because Puello has a boxing ability, he's not scared to mix it up.
He ain't
with
afraid, boy.
No.
And I'll tell you right now, I would pick Puello in a rematch.
I might too. Brendo, check it. If you go, I think Alberto Puello won that fight 115, 113. I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad at you.
But that's not a robbery if it didn't go that way.
No, not to me.
A robbery is a guy beating David Morrell 7 of 10 rounds and putting him on his back pockets.
That's a bad.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Scorecard.
If there was a scorecard, 114, 114, 115, 113, Subriel Matias, 115, 113 for Puello, a majority draw, and we run it back in 3 months. No problem for me or Brendan.
I promise you guys, over the course of this week while I'm away, I'm going to watch that fight 3 times. I'll get back to you guys.
Guys, unless someone had this lopsided, shut the fuck up about a robbery.
Right.
Close fights aren't robberies. You don't like the scorecard because you think that Matias is one-dimensional and didn't have a little couple the chinks in his armor in Puello that you saw, that he's not really good at defending shots to the body, and he got destroyed downstairs, no pub,
right.
Which was brilliant. And if Matias stayed on it, look, Brendo's right. Let's say this goes, they're running it back in 2 weeks. I might pick Puello because he clearly can make adjustments. I see nothing in Subriel Matias that does. He's not going to throw the jab.
It's just will.
It's just sheer will and dogged determination that has got him a belt right now. Run this back.
Run it back.
Close.
Great
I like
fight.
both guys.
I think we could do a really good
fight.
Series of fights with this. This is
a fun fight. If it's this fun again, do it 3 times.
Here's the other thing. Okay, maybe the decision isn't what you picked.
Cool.
But why not appreciate
what you watched?
What you watched. Okay? And I think a lot of this also I'm going to go out on a small limb here, and maybe our gambling friend on this show can weigh in.
Yeah.
Maybe if you picked a certain way and you laid some Scott,
I think there's 2 things, Brendan. If you picked a certain way, right? Or you're a pundit, or you have a voice, no matter how big or small, the bigger your voice is, the more you got to tuck your chain. And that's difficult to do, I think, for a lot of people. We don't care on this show. We just go, oh, we picked Baba Banga. He got packed up. How wrong
Right.
were we? And we bust each
Right.
other's balls.
Right.
I think they need the fight to have gone the way they anticipated it to go.
Right.
And because it didn't, they still keep it that way. No. What you didn't see is because you didn't fight. What you didn't see what Puello was doing. What he was doing, he was catching that shot and catching and shooting. Okay,
Right.
you didn't see this guy get his body ripped to shreds for
Right.
kind of rounds. That
You were looking for a certain thing, and while looking for that certain thing, you may have missed a few other things.
And when it's not there, I would give this to friends, male or female, when they were in relationships, and I would tell them, you're giving this person attributes they don't have.
Right.
And that's what happens in fights. You're seeing things that weren't going on there.
Right.
Because the fights that Puello won, the rounds that Puello won, he was doing the things that people who predicted Puello to win.
Right.
The rounds that we thought Subriel Matias won, he was doing the things we did. I would have scored it for Matias if I was doing that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm happy he won and has a belt. I am. You know what I mean? And because it's not a robbery, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean?
Look, if Matias lost 8 rounds, and I saw 8 rounds for Puello, I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
9 rounds for Puello, and they gave it to Matias.
Where is the outrage of the fight?
That's what I'm saying. It's just, that was a robbery. That's a clear robbery. And I'm like,
where is the consistency in what they watched 20 minutes before that?
Yeah, no, there isn't. You know what I mean?
Did anyone that call the Puello Matias fight a robbery also say
to tell you the truth,
was a robbery? Or
I that fight went as they predicted it, or that score went as they predicted. Not the fight, excuse me. The result went right. The result was what they predicted, so they're not as mad.
They picked a shutout for Morrell because he's the superior Cuban amateur with deep.
And thank you for making my point in terms of that's what I mean, because there's also another thing, and we'll talk about that in the next fight, and I'm going to say that out loud.
Yeah. I'm very interested.
So what I'm saying is maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know.
We're both dumb, but that doesn't make us dumb here.
I saw the fight as I saw the fight, and I saw a close fight. I saw 2 guys laying it on the line. To me, that's not a robbery. Okay. To me, you could have scored it a draw like we did. Okay. Or you could have had it 15-13 like the judges did, either way, and I wouldn't be upset about it. So to me, to your point of where was the outrage here? Where's the outrage there? It's a matter of, look, feeling gets in the way of this stuff. Tribalism gets in the way of this stuff. And we're going to talk about big tribalism next.
Yes, we are.
With that said, I'm going to watch this fight again for the sake of the boxing community and Knocker Nation. And I'm going to try to find the robbery.
Is your prediction that they run it back next?
Yeah, I think they'll run it back. I think Turkey's going to say, this was entertaining. This is controversial, right? We can elevate this on a smaller platform, or even just put it where it was as a mid-carder.
But this is or a co-main on the Norman Haney fight. What if it's on that card? That's November. That's 4 months.
Right. It'd be great.
That'd be great.
I'd like it. There was no big cuts or anything, right?
Nope.
All right.
Let's move on. I'm very interested in what you're teasing for this next fight. Hey, no problem.
I can't understand people's opinions about this. So.
Okay. I want to hear what you have to say, because everyone went along with what you said about Morrell and Kataev. They thought it was going to go Morrell's way. They were all wide cards. I mean, the pundits, not the judge. Yeah, I'm like, you can't.
Al Bernstein cut a beautiful promo, and he said, I'm watching this card and I'm behind on the live card. He said, what I mean is I'm on my 3rd time watching Morrell Kataev. I'm watching one of the most egregious robberies in boxing.
Oh, and I find it and retweet it.
I'm watching it again to find the rounds that they gave David Morrell. The judges should be ashamed of themselves.
I'm telling you, if I'm a corrupt judge and someone paid me off, I was trying, and I got the 3 rounds for Morrell and the knockdown.
Okay.
Shakur Stevenson, 23-0, 11 KOs versus William Zapeda, the Shrimp, 33-0, 27 KOs, WBC lightweight title. We've said it before on air. Early on, it reminded me that we say this on air a long time ago. Shakur Stevenson has the best reflexes in all of boxing. He stayed in the pocket with Zapeda and was slinging the dogs.
Let's talk about how, and I'm going to say it. I want to say it now.
Do it.
This entire Tom and Jerry statement, this
Yeah.
entire shrinking ring,
Yeah.
all this jabs thrown at the, anonymous boxer that
Mhm.
this is direct shots at Shakur.
Correct.
Direct at Mike Coppinger. I know you were cool with Mike, but I'm going to shout him out. Coppinger involves himself in this, puts out a tweet that says, well, maybe Shakur won't run in this fight. Yo, man, I got to call you out, Cop. Sorry. You're a journalist. There's no place for that shit to say that. I know you work for Ring, and I know that the boss of Ring was sort of pre-fight shitting on the possibility of Shakur running, which you and I have said we don't consider that running.
No.
Now, there's fights where he stunk it out. We talk about De Los Santos. He didn't stink out the Josh Padley fight. He took it to him. He could have easily gone 12 and just stunk it out. He didn't. The fact that people did that, he didn't stink out the Jamel Herring fight. He didn't stink out Oscar Valdez. So to me, when we talk about Shakur Stevenson in big fights, right, and big platforms, to me, he doesn't stink it out, and he very well can. And you and I are very big fans of Shakur.
We are.
So I want to say straight up, but we try not to get into this this fandom thing. We will criticize people we're fans of. You said last episode, 2 episodes ago, no, last episode, you said we can't keep defending Shakur if he stinks this fight out.
Right.
To a victory. So I thought that was very, very, very important that you said that you put out our knock him out the box's opinion of this. Now to the fight. I want to start at the end and we'll get back to the beginning because I didn't watch the fight live.
Right.
I do go on the social media sites to find out what the folks are saying. I'm not like Vinny. I have no self-control. So I'm a self-spoiler. I don't care. I told Vin on the phone the other day, I said, just tell me what's happening.
Yeah.
Vinny tells me what's happening. Fine. I have no problem with that. I don't care.
Yeah.
I hear cries of robbery. I hear cries of, yeah.
Wait.
Yes.
Regarding what fight?
Shakur Zapeda. Zapeda won that fight.
Wait.
Yes.
Is this like a work that you and Billy set up to fuck with me before we hit record?
No. And I'm going the fuck out of here because I happen to see the CompuBox numbers where Shakur landed like 56% of his power shots, 47% of his jabs, and to Zepeda's like 20 and 30%, okay? Which are good numbers from Zapeda, right?
Yeah, which we knew was going there. We just knew he was going there. And bunches.
And Shakur outlanded him.
Yeah.
So outlanded him and landed at a higher percentage. So I go, all right,
I
can't wait to watch this fight. So now maybe I watch this fight with a head full of bias, right? But I tend not to do that. Okay. What I saw in this fight, well, first of all, let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Boys come in, both guys look dry to me.
Okay.
And I said to myself, I wonder if they didn't expect Morrell to go that long. I wonder if they didn't expect Matias Puello to go that long.
Right.
But it is outside, and it was a beautiful, perfect night. Something was like 72 degrees at night outside.
Fight time, yep.
With the breeze.
Yeah.
Really, really, really. I mean, I'm glad I'm on vacation with my family. I did make a point to make my family feel guilty about me not being at the show.
As you should.
As I should. So I looked at my 2 beautiful children, my lovely wife. I have my parents here, and I said to them, I would rather not be with all of you right now. I'd rather not be enjoying this lovely vacation.
Venue.
That's what I said. I'd rather be at a tennis venue in Queens.
Yes.
So with that said,
in Rosedale, Queens.
yeah, in Corona Park.
Yeah,
So I
wherever.
said Flushing Meadow, Corona Park.
Yeah,
So I says to my parents, my mother looks at me, she goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah, I'd rather." Of course, I'm kidding.
yeah, of
I'm
course.
having a wonderful time with my family. So with that said, both guys look dry to me. Bell rings, and it's like cutting the leash off of Zepeda.
Yep.
Holy shit, this
Yeah,
guy!
man.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And
They were slinging the dogs. Zapata doing some good work downstairs too.
absolutely, absolutely. But you know who's coming right back with his own work downstairs?
Shakur
Shakur
Stevenson.
Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is the most talented fighter in boxing
He
right
is.
now.
He
Besides
is.
Bam, him and Bam, I think I are, 1A and 1B. I'm not calling them the best
No,
fight,
no, no. Talent.
and
Natural talent.
I'm not saying the most accomplished.
No, naturally gifted fighters.
Naturally gifted fighters, these two of these guys are.
How about this Zapata in the third? He just fucking pours it on. He landed more shots in the
I love
third.
him, by the way.
He's great. I can't
I
wait to
love
see him
him.
again. He landed more shots on Shakur in that third round than maybe the 23 previous fights of
Right.
Shakur. And I think Shakur fought brilliantly defensively, by the way.
Brilliantly.
I'm just saying, if you land
How
three
many
shots on
wrinkles can Shakur show? He gives us the Philly shell, right?
yes,
He
he's
gives us
catching shots off the shoulders, Philly show. How about the sniper counter left? The
the
sniper.
sniper kind of left the sweeping down hook he throws, the 1, 2, 3, 4 shots in a row, straight
Yeah.
shots,
Bing, 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 bing. He lets him go.
lets
Bing,
him
bing,
go.
bing, bing. The
Did you
punch
notice
placement, the
what
accuracy. That's why I actually wrote sniper in capital, like I made, because it's just right. It's like there's a target in his mind,
yep.
and where
And
he
I will
throws
say
the
this, he was very, very, very economical with how hard he was protecting his own hands.
yep,
He said, this guy has a tank on him.
yep.
I can't get hurt my hands. I'll do enough to keep him off of me.
I'm not putting I'm throwing these at 75%, 70%. I'll drop them down to 60 sometimes
Right.
with the jab straight left hand, and then put more mustard on it later. But to put it at 100 with this maniac that's coming and is going to throw a thousand
His
punches, no.
southpaw jab cross. He throws the two crosses behind it. The jab, dump dump, 1, 2, 3, and then his sweeping right hook that he throws is brilliant. He knows when to let him fly, when not to let him fly. He he would let Zepeda get off and then walk him back out of the corner. So it's physical strength he's showing, physical determination he's showing. I don't know what you do better against a William Zepeda type fighter
Then what
than
Shakur
what
did.
you did. And this was very, and you and I liked watching him fight, and a lot of people didn't, and they
Yeah,
criticized him the same way. This was very much a Floyd fight where people go, "Oh, he didn't," because he's not going to knock you out. This is
yep,
Floyd at the bigger weights,
yep,
where it's flat-footed, economical, and he's moving you where he wants to move you.
yep. Moving
He
you into shots that he wants to, or
correct.
just walk you into one shot. And then
Subtly parrying the shot, staying within range so he can counter back,
starts
leading,
using your momentum against you.
starts to lead when he needs to lead. He
Yep.
counters when he needs to counter. He punches with you when he needs to punch with you. I was so impressed that I can't begin. Zepeda's head was bouncing all over the fucking place.
I didn't realize I wrote something that completely backs up what you said to me when I was blown away. Real quick, as good as Zapata is, and
This
as
was
much of
this
a
was Zepeda's
buzzsaw,
best performance of his career that I've seen.
yeah, as much of a buzzsaw as he is, Shakur started showing that he's special. Not
Special.
good, not great, special.
Catching shots off the elbows.
Making Zapata miss, landing 3, 4 punch counters. My worry, B, I forgot that I wrote this, was the judges were swayed by Zapata's volume. And clearly, you saw some people who were too.
Oh my
Even
God.
yeah, Stevenson's catching shots with his gloves, right shoulder, slipping, beautiful counters, high level stuff. If you can't see that, maybe you shouldn't be watching this and tune over to those MMA cards that go
The
on.
only thing I can think of is that a lot of the folks that were saying that were there, and you and I talk about it often. Sometimes your
It's two
vantage
different
point isn't
experiences.
great.
Yep,
We're watching it at home. We have a great camera angle
we do.
that we're watching it at. So to me, and again, I'm going to get into the tribalism thing here. The Mexican fans and the white fans, Cepeda just put on Jose Luis Castillo,
Floyd.
Floyd won, and this was this big
Why
robbery.
I did not even know this was going on.
This
I'm
was
being
going on.
honest.
Yeah,
So do you want my scorecard? Did you
I
score it?
do. I didn't score it. I was waiting to hear yours.
I had it 117, 111 for Shakur Stevenson. Much more entertaining than that score would indicate, but nonetheless,
Very
a
entertaining.
stern 117, 111. Judges had it 118, 110 twice, and
Hmm.
119, 109 for your winner. And still, Shakur Stevenson, did those scorecards make people angry? And because they're
Maybe
so dumb, they thought they were like, he won more than that. I mean, bro, 117, 111. That's my card. That's wide.
nine
That's
three.
9-3.
It's a 9-3 card. And I think 9-3 is very fair. Like you said, the third round, arguably maybe the first round.
It's the best anyone's ever done against Shakur Stevenson, the third
Right.
round from Williams up here.
Right.
I
And
want to see him again. I want to see him
right.
right away. I want to be without naming names, which we do because we have the rankings.
Right.
I pick Zapata over 5 or 6 of the top 10 if he fights them this week.
I re
I
I
just
really
like
like that
him. He's
guy. I
really
like him.
good.
He's
He's a
really good.
goon. He came to fight. He made it fun. He
Right.
made Core do what Core did. He pressed him. He made
And
him
and
at
and and
Shakur.
and for all the Tom and Jerry talk,
Yeah,
for all the running talk, guys, this
yeah.
isn't running, and he didn't
No,
run.
no,
Shakur could have fought a different fight and chose to
no.
entertain you. I hope you appreciate that out there.
This was brilliant, high level stuff, guys. And
I
if you see
don't
it differently, go watch MMA.
Right, but what I'm saying is the nickname for this sport is the sweet science. Okay, guys?
Yes,
Not This was a Greg Maddox pitching performance.
correct.
It's not 100-mile-an-hour fastballs here.
Nope.
This is picking you apart. This is
No,
taking
he's painting the corners.
right.
That's how he boxes. He's painting
Yes.
corners. He's throwing some slop in there.
Right.
Then he's throwing change ups.
Right.
Guys, he literally throws change ups. He hits you at 50%,
Right.
then might bring it up to 85. Like B said, he's not
Yeah,
fully committing because his hands are
right.
potentially brittle. I don't think he hurt them. He would have said something by
No,
now. He's done a
yeah.
few interviews. He was
Right.
happy as shit. He's looking forward to the
I
future.
thought he looked great.
He looked great. This is the guy that B and I said this is why he's on our top 10 pound for pound. But this is
Right.
what we said last episode or the one before that we said we can't defend a lackluster performance.
No.
But if he gives us what we know he is talent wise, you're going to understand why. He gave it to us, and you fucking saw people saying it was a robbery. I can't believe I'm just finding that out. I'm happy I'm just finding that out.
Yeah, it's absurd because it's also people we like saying that.
Uh-huh.
And it's people we like that we've said privately, like they're great, but they pick a certain style every time, and hey, look, man, if Cepeda whooped his ass, Cepeda whooped his ass. We'd say it.
No problem.
He didn't. And it wasn't close. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think Shakur whooped his ass. It wasn't as bad as I was wrong in my prediction.
Look, I thought he'd be busted up by the time things started going that way, and he wasn't.
He wasn't. And neither was Shakur.
Neither was Corey.
Yeah,
Looked like he just
both guys post fight looked like they really weren't. They were in a
looks like they did some light sparring with headgear on,
Right.
or tough sparring with headgear on. You know what I mean?
If you looked at Zepeda's body, and of course, again, not sounding controversial here, not trying to sound controversial, Cepeda is a white Mexican guy.
Yeah.
So he's going to look more red.
Yeah, he's a white Latino guy. Yeah.
The shots are going to look more telling.
Sure.
But he was really red to the body. His chest in particular, right where the straight left meets the right side of his lead hand. He's punching him in the armpit, Shakur, and punching him in the pec to get him to stop.
That straight left. He's a sniper, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if Core has a nickname.
It's very, very economical the way he throws punches. There is not a loop to it. There is not a hook to it.
He's an economical hitman, Brendan. He should be called the sniper. I mean,
what do we say? The fastest way between
straight line
is a straight line, and Shakur embodies that. It's straight line shots right down the pipe,
Right down the
right?
pike.
You know, and to me, it's beautiful work, especially against a high volume swarmer, where a lot of guys I think thought, you know, Zepeda would dig that shoulder in, Jake LaMotta style, and
Mm-hmm.
and work, work, work.
Mm-hmm.
And what you saw was Shakur dig deep and push him back into the
Push
center
him back.
ring
Yeah, and not let him do that. And
and not let him do it.
that's metal.
Yeah,
That's the things.
and when he wanted to kind of let him, all right, lead the first, I'll let you lead the first part of this round. I'm going
Absolutely.
to give you the first minute
Yep.
to beat me up a little bit. Guys, do you know what kind of level of talent that takes to let someone start fighting downhill?
If
But
people thought this was a robbery, I'm going to answer that for you. No, they don't. They
they
don't
don't.
know how special bro, we can now safely go look, pound for pound list, all of that, meaning ours, knock them out the box, pound for pound. We can now throw the word special
Yeah.
onto him as part of his accolades from us.
I don't see anybody beating him at that weight. And I don't see him moving away from that weight anytime soon. I don't think he needs to.
Did we say that off air or is that on air? We said
Earlier in the
early in
show.
this
Yeah.
episode. So that was
So
on air?
yeah. So he doesn't look completely sapped at weigh-ins.
I
He
heard that he's not having trouble making the weight, if that helps.
I hope he stays there as long as possible. I don't think guys need to jump weight and do this and do that. So for me, uh, I like him right where he is. Cheers to Shakur Stevenson for an absolutely brilliant performance. And cheers to William Zepeda for an absolutely brilliant performance,
Yeah, big
which brought
respect,
us
Williams
a
Zapata.
brilliant fight. And I really, really, really like Zepeda. I want to see him again.
I know we're not done, but I just thought this was just a really good card.
You know, and the other thing that was kind of disrespectful to me was that Shakur's the belt holder here and fought as the co-feature. He wasn't the main event because of this Tom and Jerry talk.
When I saw, as you're watching a fight and they're showing whose hands are getting wrapped, who's warming up, who's hitting the mitts, and I saw Zapata and Shakur,
Ready to go.
I was going, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah. So the level of, let's just talk about it, like sort of
Yeah, it's
mind adversity he kind of had to go through going into this, because all those jabs, for lack of a better term, no pun intended with boxing,
mhm.
were thrown at him. That was all about Shakur
Of
Stevenson.
course it was. Of
I
course it
won't
was.
book fighters who run. I won't do this. I won't do that. This is all on Shakur. So Shakur took that. I think that's why a lot of the, maybe what we didn't see behind the scenes when Shakur was sending kind of disparaging tweets towards the promoter and then doing a lot of flip off stuff and all the pictures and everything may have been
Yeah,
because if the guy's saying it in the press, who knows what he's saying behind closed doors, like.
sure.
So anyway, with that said, I I think I had it 118, 110. So 117, 111 is fine by me. Um, I don't know what other people saw, if they think that Zepeda did better than he did, or if they thought the fight needed to be closer. I'm scoring rounds one fight at a time, times 12. That's what I came up with.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
Um,
Moving on
moving on.
to a
Lastly,
more comical.
well, yeah, I just wanted to say something too. I'm looking at my computer and looking at the date, and there's a 7 there for July. And I was going to say, B, am I getting ahead of myself by saying nothing will make me as happy about what we're about to talk about for the rest of 2025 than what we're about to talk about?
Okay, let's go.
Maybe Devin Haney getting short circuited by Norman will beat watching Berlanga like a deer out of the womb.
Just
Um,
Bambi on
look,
ice, as the great
Edgar
Hill book
Berlanga
said.
23-1, 18-0 versus Hamzah Shiraz 21-0, 17 KOs. This is 168 pounds. The level of disrespectful talking, and I'm not talking selling a fight, I mean just being a piece of garbage that this Berlanga did and does in general. You just I have nothing good to say about him as a person or a fighter. I do want to say something. I want to say something that I've got a lot of messages and tweets saying, "What a bum. I called it, da 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 da." And I was like, no, none of you did. You were all riding him when he was 16-0 with 16 first round
Right,
knockouts.
right.
The only people were Vinnie Paz and Brendan Long, who were like, there's
Right.
nothing here, guys.
No.
This is a manufactured Puerto Rican kid
Yep.
since the loss of Coto to the island that loves the sport. And there have been guys, but they're too sport. It should be Oscar Collazo.
Right.
Look at what they're doing with Xander Zayas and
Yeah.
Edgar Berlanga. They're forcing them on to the Puerto Rican fans, and Puerto Rican fans that love the sport ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. But I
Right.
just want to say the revisionist history, you're not fooling me or B.
No.
I just want to
No.
say that first. Guys, he's just not that good. He's completely incapable of putting a combination together. He follows you around. He doesn't jab his way in. There's no feints. He's looking to land one big shot and seemingly has no idea how to set up that big shot. Hamzah Shiraz is the exact opposite of all that. High
Exactly.
IQ, everything off the jab, tricky on the inside, beautiful punch selection.
Accurate.
Drops him twice, and I think he's cooked. He had him completely out and was literally saved by the bell. Demolition job from
Demo
Hamzah
job.
Shiraz. The memes could not be more brilliant. Thank you, internet. Keep them coming. Keep tagging me in them.
I
But
heard. So the funniest thing I heard was a fat. He said they show the Fat Joe prediction. Fat Joe's.
yeah. It's him and Remy at
Yeah.
yeah.
And then they go right to lean back as he's like, this is going face first.
Are you hip on vacation to a mutant that's not in the sport took the pick, afterwards when your gloves are off and you do the boxing hand for picks.
Yeah.
Some dude who's not in the sport is like, these raps are illegal. And they just
Who
ran.
who said that?
If you put Hamzah Shiraz hand raps
I'll
right
do it.
now
All right.
on Twitter, it'll come up. And then like real people started being like, yo, there's mad ways to rap hands legally. And
Right.
they're signed off by the New York
Yeah.
State Athletic Commission.
And
And
the
his Ed
opposing
Berlanga's
corner.
team was in there. So I thought maybe, can we do this graciously? No, of course not. Anything, um, that has to do with this kid Berlanga can't be.
I love that, like that. Also, like that legal hand wraps he would take pictures with. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like he would stand there and take
So
pictures.
this is the first one I saw. This guy's, I was going to use the word knowledge. I have to put lack of knowledge, is so staggering, B. I'm friends with someone who you don't like, and you're like, I think this guy has to say things to get people.
Yeah.
Forget the trolling part. You know that other thing it's called, like rage bait?
Rage bait.
So I think this guy, I'm not even going to give him the props of giving him his handle or anything. This guy, I think he's either um um what's the word we're not allowed to say? What's the PC way of saying it? When you're mentally
Oh
not.
yeah.
What's the
I gotcha.
correct one though? Yeah, but for the listeners,
Challenged.
so he's either mentally challenged or does rage bait. I don't know which one. Hamzah Shiraz might have had some Antonio Margarito-ish going on. Them hand wraps sus as AF. I watched the fight 4 times now. No, you didn't. And every shot looked devastating to Berlanga very early, like Antonio. Very is spelled VWEY. Sorry for that's not my stumbling. It's this guy's inability to construct a sentence. By the way, there's no the grammar and spelling are equally as bad. I can't picture which one. I don't know which one's worse.
Okay.
Devastating to Berlanga very VWEY early, like Antonio did Cotto when he cheated in their first fight. And Hamzah is Turkey boy. So his implication isn't just these are illegally wrapped hands, but that because he's Turkey's boy, I'm doing air quotes.
Yeah.
illegal hand wraps would be made via a promoter, and that promoter has the New York State Athletic Commission in the
On
bag
board.
too. Huh?
Yeah, on board.
On board. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you said our boy.
No.
So this guy is the one like where it started.
Uh-huh.
And then because of you, I'll stay away from the word. The mentally challenged people ran with this. And then what it takes there is people that actually know the sport to come in and
Yeah.
start explaining things like, look, hey, me and you, we don't wrap fighters' gloves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've wrapped our own hands. You know, we don't need to wrap them in accordance to an athletic commission, right?
Yeah,
But I'm just going to lightly
this is
say, I'm not,
so
no,
nutty.
I know. I'm not going to get it. I just want to say that there's different ways to wrap hands, B, and not everyone uses loose gauze to make the knuckle pad. Some prefer the pre-made knuckle pad gauze.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
Yeah.
4x5 wide, the 4 yards long. Some of it for me, if I'm not fighting a guy, B, and I'm working the back, you know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
People are used to seeing those large knuckle. I'm not getting into it. I'm not, because it's getting me angry. But I want to say that it's pretty on brand that a low life piece of garbage like Berlanga would have low life piece of garbage fans.
Supporters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really the things I saw supporting Tank. And I don't know if Tank did what he was accused of this time. I know he ran people over. I know he ran over a pregnant woman. And I know he didn't have his license. And I know that he was drunk. I know all that to be factual.
Right.
But the best thing you can say if you're a Tank fan is, I don't know yet, man. I'm just like waiting to see. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The amount of free Tank and that bitch did this once already and that type of shit. You're a piece of garbage like he is. Make no mistake, the Tank is a piece of garbage as a person.
Right.
We don't talk about the in-ring stuff. Tank can fight. He's good. And, you know, if he does good things in the ring moving forward, and we're questioning we ever see him again, we'll report on it.
Sure.
He's a piece of garbage. Berlanga's a piece of garbage. Their fans are pieces of garbage.
Yo, but yeah,
He got packed up,
What
destroyed, demo job. Hamzah Shiraz is no joke. Real bad man. I go nowhere near him if I'm at 68.
when you do what Berlanga did in the lead up,
Yeah.
do you think it? I'm asking you an opinion.
Okay. I'm very
Is that
interested.
just you're playing blackjack or you're
Yeah.
playing roulette better,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, all right, fuck it. I got 20 chips left to my name,
Yeah.
right? Nothing in the bank. I'm going all in. You know what I mean? And I'm betting a number. So
Okay.
I'll hit it 36-1,
Okay.
right? There is no place to go for him now.
No, nowhere.
And you act that way and get beat like that.
No.
Do you go back to club shows? How do you
go, Caleb Plant just got beat the fuck up. I just got beat the fuck up and we don't like each other.
you
And
try to make that fight?
And that's a big, small fight, meaning it doesn't
Right.
mean shit, but there will be some interest in there. And this
Okay.
guy, he's also like when you and I send each other delusional rappers who talk about being the best and they sell 5 units, he's that of boxing.
Oh, yeah.
So his statement, did you see it?
I saw it. I read it today.
His statement's just as delusional, like just
Delusional.
getting started and all
Yeah.
that. Bro, you're cooked.
You got destroyed.
You lost all 12 rounds and knocked down by an old Canelo.
Came back against a cab driver who just got out of prison.
A literal dude that people were like, I'm not even watching this. That's what's most of boxing. I'm not tuning in for this club fight in Orlando where that held what, as much as the ECW arena?
Right. Or less.
Or less. Yeah. It might have held 700, 800 people.
And then you came back and got demoed in your hometown.
Demo job, obliterated. Not memes like this since Fury Wilder.
You didn't look good for 1 second of one round
you
while
were
you
not
were
in this fight for 1 second. You do nothing good. You lean on false power. that was manufactured by demoing people who are, I was going to say club fighters. That's a disrespect to club fighters. Below level during a global pandemic. That's where you built that.
Yeah, and your biggest supporter is a guy who's a rap crew. Like that's your biggest. It's like you're a terror squad member.
Yeah,
Like,
who outside of the business of rap is not known to be a good human being. So
right,
it's that even is a nod to something.
right, right. But I mean, it's just weird. Like, yeah, like he's now more famous for being a known liar and involving himself in everything that he could possibly have anything to do with in Fat
Yeah.
Joe. You know,
What was the one you and I were pissing ourselves at? He robbed the entire gym class with no
50 kids
weapons, 50 kids. Yeah.
for their jackets.
Um,
I mean, the only thing that would have made that better was if he like, then I packed it into my truck and drove it to a more needy neighborhood and outfitted the kids
yeah, outfitted them.
with these 50
Here's the thing that's going
bubble
to happen
gooses.
here, and we're both guilty of it. Okay, we're going to be. Is what Hamza Shiraz is not going to get the proper airtime that he should on
Get
this
it?
episode.
No, they got to get Hamzah back in there right away. We've liked Hamzah from day one. He looked great. He looked sharp. Um, this was more, unfortunately, Hamza's great victory, as you're alluding to, is outshined by the fact that Berlanga put his name in the press out there, did a bunch of outlandish shit, dressed in an outlandish way,
Well,
went on a victory losing tour after Canelo, and then got absolutely obliterated.
Brendan, there's also the added thing of we really don't like him on this show.
Yeah, no,
There are the people that go, "Oh yeah, that kid with the big mouth. Oh yeah, yeah, he got shut up." There's like joy in him,
there's joy.
you know.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So again, yes, he stole Hamza Shiraz's moment by being such a fucking loudmouth goof who got packed up that Hamza Shiraz is fucking trouble for anyone. He's definitely going to end up at 75 at some point. I'm not rushing him. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
He's still wiry at 68. This isn't a dude who you
Right.
go, oh, he filled out. This is where he's going to be for 10 years.
Right.
You know, this
20,
is
how old is he? 25, 26?
he's young, very young. This is what a good kid. What a great ambassador for the sport. Hamza Shiraz, on top of being good.
They call him James. They're calling him the James Bond of boxing.
I'd send him everywhere, Brendan, if we had a league. You know what I mean? There's league. There's people you say, I want this guy to represent the NFL. He's the face of the NFL.
I mean, to me, and he's fighting next week, is all signs point to this is Diego Pacheco, Hamza Shiraz.
I mean, I think they're on a collision course to be the guy at 68.
It'd be great.
You know, I don't know. You and I talk about two things on this show: rushing fights and marinating them too long. I don't want to make it next, but I want them both in their primes, which they both are now. But I'd like it to be for all the marbles. You know what I mean? And with Canelo, kind of, I don't want to say keeping the belts hostage because he's fighting a generational talent in Bud, but he is a welter.
Yeah.
He's really a lightweight who moved to super lightweight, that moved to welter, that moved to 54, that's skipping 2 now. But I'm not going to say he's keeping the belts hostage. He won them all. It's fair and square. But if your plan is what you're going to fight Bud, who's not a 68 guy, and then move on to what you and I believe to go, our belief is someone on Chris Eubanks level, not Hamza Shiraz.
No.
And then into a goofy world that like we're not even going to cover.
Yeah.
That's what we believe on this show, guys. That it'll go. If he doesn't retire, Brendan and I would put money on him retiring after Bud, win, lose, or draw, unless it's so good they give him $8 gazillion to run it back with him. Other than that, I think he retires. If he doesn't, we think it's a Chris Eubank type guy. And if he keeps on fighting, it goes after a guy like that into goofy land, sideshow, circus fights. We're going to just continue to heap praise on Hamza Shiraz over the next however long. Brendan is right. The fight to be made in this division within 18 to 24 months is is those two, Diego
Yeah,
Pacheco. As long as
Pacheco
he
and-
keeps doing what he does,
Right.
he's in there with a
Two
tough guy.
big 68
Two
guys.
big
Big lanky
68
bastards.
guys, hit hard, can box well, tricky
Like it.
in there. I love that fight.
Let them go.
All right.
All
Look, guys, we hope you enjoyed this extra long episode. The next one's going to be the same way. There's mad big cards
Yeah.
to check out. You can find me at BoxCutterPazzi on Instagram, at Vinny_Paz. My new video is out now. It is called Perfect Enemy. Go run that up on YouTube, please. Perfect Enemy. The new album is out. It's called God Sent Vengeance. You can find it on jmtstore.com if physical product is your thing. If streaming is your thing, go run that up. It's streaming everywhere. Knock them out the box tees, vinyl, cassette, CDs, hoodies, all of that. All right, Brendan, where can they find you?
At the Killer B24 on Twitter. At I_know_that_kid on IG. Find us at KOTB Boxing on IG. Write us at KOTBboxing@gmail.com and KOTB Podcast on the YouTubes.
You can find Brendan on vacation.
That's right.
That's also true. Billy Betts is
Or
about
not
to
find
have-
me.
Next time you hear Billy Betts, he's gonna be froggy as a fucking. He's gonna be leapfrog Billy.
It's going to be
All
a
right.
fun weekend.
Say goodnight, Billy.
Good night, Billy.